that I have with them. It's really just the one issue. It's a big issue, and it's actually the same kind of problem that we're seeing as prolific through all of gaming. That's mobile, free-to-play to premium $60 AAA games, right? It's all throughout gaming. We have this giant, big problemo that really just, it needs to be stomped out. It needs to be regulated by governments, and people need to become aware that this is an issue that's kind of within themselves as well. It is very predatory as a practice, and it's something that is ruining the gameplay, the overall game experience, the game flow, and the life cycle of these titles. And it makes it very unwelcoming, especially since card games tend to be competitive games. They're online, and the barrier to entry historically has been kind of high, but these games would only be better, their ecosystem would only be better if the barrier to entry was lower, in my opinion, and just based off of everyone else's thoughts that I've ever seen on the internet, pretty much ever, minus investors and people who are, of course, obviously addicted to the gambling aspect. So yeah, that's gonna be the problem. Spoiler alert, just kidding, we're a minute in, I haven't even mentioned it. Yeah, it's gonna be the card opening, it's gonna be the card packs, it's going to be the RNG, the randomness, it's gonna be the progression systems, which I'm cool with progression systems as tutorials or pseudo-tutorial kind of things going on. It kind of works in fighting games, because it's like, okay, you get a character, and then you can just main that character, right? But card games are just, oh man, it is just all notorious. It's bad, and that's like almost every single card game. Now, as I say that, I'm sure people just pause the video, or maybe you're still listening and you don't care, keyboard warriors. You go into the comments and you're like, whoa, 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 Gwent is really forgiving. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Elder Scrolls, the card game, ain't so bad. It's a good game, and I'm getting card packs regularly. Yo, Hearthstone, actually, if you do the date, guys, I don't care, okay, how good or bad it is. That's like saying, okay, it's only a little bit pay to win. It's only, you know, oh, this one's a lot of it pay to win, but at least it's not as pay to win. No, 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 no. I'm not doing that, okay? It's either yes, no, check, X, circle. Is it? Maybe? Yep, it is. The box is checked. It is bad. It is not good to have gambling practices intertwined in the absolute core gameplay. And it's not just card games now, but ever since the dawn of time, with any trading card game and now digital card games. And of course, we have like a couple of, I say a plethora of different subgenres of card games. My favorite being the tactical card game. So I love Faria, I liked Duelist, and there's a few others. I even did like a whole top 10 list on it. But there's a couple of games out there that, you know, they're trying to do new things, but I just think it's all ruined, because trying to get into a new card game is like impossible. Dude, it takes so long. It takes so much investment, not to just learn the mechanics and whatnot, like an arena shooter, like a fighting game, but like actually you have to collect the cards, you have to make the decks, learn how to build decks, and that just costs so much money and time. Even if you just copy and paste a budget build, still, you're not really playing a deck building game unless you yourself are building the decks and challenging the game with that. Ugh, so gross. So yeah, Hearthstone, all that, lots of games out there that are pretty popular. Some are waning and dying. You know what? I thought the RuneScape Chronicles was like super creative of a game, but it doesn't matter. These games either thrive or they die. And that's basically built on, you know, the momentum of their hype and keeping people addicted. So Hearthstone, you know, it's still doing good. Magic the Gathering, still doing good. These games create these artificial power treadmills, you know, like, and so they constantly churn out cards, which is a good thing, but then they, you know, it's not easy to get these cards. And then to play the game, you have to collect like and amass so many different cards. Oh, but to balance the game, bunny ears, they make it to where you can only use the newest cards, or like, you know, you have the base set and then you have this year's special set that you can use together or something like that. So then all these other cards that you've collected, you know, maybe you only played for that year. Okay, well now that year's cards have been discontinued and now you need a whole new set. What the hell? That's for balancing? So to balance the game, I have to continuously buy stuff in this game? That's insanity. If it was a fighting game, basically, you would be good with just the one character that you bought or the original roster. You would always have a fighting chance. That's like kind of how that works. The game constantly balances itself. If a character's OP, well, generally, you know, with the money they get from DLC purchases, they will continuously balance the game. And this is, I think, disgusting in digital card games right now, because they're fucking digital. Right, so this kind of system made sense with Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, where there was little like power creep, you know, keep the game exciting, add new cards. So older cards might have become less effective, right? But they're physical cards. You can't just rebalance a physical card unless you reprint them or something. And it's, you know, it's physical, so you have to deliver it, send it out. I still don't agree with random card packs. I still don't care if you get that dopamine rush. Guys, I actually, some of the first videos on my channel was card pack openings. I get it, but that shit is cancer. That is literal gambling. So I don't agree with that, but still, physical, okay? That's physical stuff. But digital makes no sense. You can literally, with some lines of code, maybe redraw some art, but like it's not that big of an issue to rebalance old cards. And it even happens. And then they still, like a lot of them still do this whole set system and these rules and regulations, which I guess can be kind of fun, you know, modifiers, mutators and things. But like it's not in a fun way that you would expect. You go play a lot of the Magic the Gathering online games and you don't have anywhere near the cool game modes that you can in real life, right? Like the commander mode and things like that, unless one of them does. I haven't played everyone, but I'm pretty sure most of them don't just have like a sandbox mode where players can just play with free like rules or whatever, like you would in Tabletop Simulator or something like that. A lot of these card games are so hyper limiting, and it's specifically designed, like these mechanics and the balancing is specifically designed around the monetization. All card games are always have been built around just flat making money. And you know, we accepted it, right? As kids, we gambled. We're like, oh my God, a holographic Charizard. Ah! And it felt so good. But that's fake. That's fake. That's not real happiness, right? That's gambling, man. That's not good. And we have that in digital games. And what really disgusts me, actually, is, okay, let's take an example. Here's a game that I really loved. It's called Faria. Faria was originally slated to be an esport game out of the gate. It had a very basic premise, I think. It was like, okay, it's like Magic the Gathering, except it's a tactical game. So whenever you lay down a land, you literally place the land and you build the board as you play. Freaking amazing, awesome. And they were going to try to be competitive and try to be fair because they were going to sell you entire sets. Like you could buy just like, okay, here's all the cards. And I actually got one of those sets. I got all the cards and I was able to make so many different builds, try out so many different strategies. I had so much fun with Faria. And then they actually flip-flopped on that. Apparently, the player base died for whatever reason. Probably because to make an esport, you have to actually publish it as an esport. You can't just make a good game. Some people, just make a good game, it'll become an esport. No, dude, no. It takes so much more to actually become a sport. Anyways, so Faria was like, okay, we're not making enough money. So you know what? We're gonna take away that. You can't just buy all the cards. You have to go through the gambling system. And I think that right there is just a nail in the coffin for me, where I was like, oh, okay. No, the gambling system isn't a necessity. It's just people are fucking greedy. That's what it is. And now I actually believe Duelist now allows you to buy entire sets. And of course, you can say, whoa, Sky, digital card games like Gwent has been really good. RuneScape Chronicles was fun, and it wasn't too hard to grind for it. And you guys will say, well, this game isn't as pay to win as that game, or this game is easier to grind for cards. And I'm just saying, I don't care. The whole card gambling unboxing thing is all just a massive cancerous tumor on gaming society, which is prolific through all genres now, but it's just always been CCG. So here I'm just gonna come out and say it. CCG, stop it. What you need to do is sell yourself like board games. And I'm talking about, the physical card games too. And you can actually see this. You can go and buy Magic full decks. You can actually go and buy Pokemon full competitive decks. You literally can do that. The decks that the pros use to actually win the world championships, you can just go straight up and buy those decks. That is what I want to see. Less and less random card packs that can just give you absolute trash. You can say, whoa, Sky, but physical cards, you can trade them, you can sell them, and so that balances itself out. You don't have to buy the card packs. And then I would tell you, it's still literally freaking gambling. It actually is. You're gonna get a card which has a monetary value to it, and you're making money. Yes, there are entire investment, Rudy, shout out. There's entire investments, channels out there that talk about card games. Yeah, no excuse. Anyways, this is all coming hot off of Artifact being announced and being showcased, being launched here, and how it's money grubby, and you can trade and sell cards on the Valve Marketplace, but it's a $20 game, it's not free to play, and apparently the cards are really expensive, the economy's broken. I'm not even gonna get into it, I'm not even going to. So I'm making this video. I might cover the new Magic Arena game, though I've had access to it forever. I just haven't, because they DMCA'd one of my videos where I showcased gameplay for some fucking reason. What the hell? I don't know. Anyways, that was because there's a lot of drama going on with Magic, but regardless, just all these companies, they're just dipping deeper and deeper into your wallets. And you let them get away with it because you're addicted. And if you're not addicted, you can jump in, have a lot of fun with these games. I did. The Hearthstone was really fun at the beginning, but then you can't keep up because you don't know life it, you don't spend money in it. And I don't want to hear any excuses of, oh, if you do the dailies, no bullshit. I'm done with it. No, it's not even a conversation. It's grindy, and more of these games are costing more and more and being more grindy because they're trying to get away with as much as possible. And even then, if you think, well, it's fair enough, I don't care, because it's not good enough. It still perverts the gameplay itself, and they balance the game and they sell the game all around just trying to make as much money as possible instead of creating the best art as they possibly could. This game, this genre has been around for a while. I've been around for a while and I've been a part of it. I've been a part of the bad stuff. I've paid into it. I supported it. I'm not anymore. I don't want to. I'm done with it. You know, I'll jump in, I'll try it, I'll see what it's got to show. You know, I'll jump into Gwent again, why not? And I'm sure it's fun. But the thing is these games are best when they have long lives, when their economies, like, you know, the players are actually circulating through it and consistently playing, and it's competitive, because they're 1v1 competitive games, whether you believe it or not. Maybe RuneScape Chronicles was kind of more of a party game, I don't know, debatable. Regardless, it's best when more players are in with a low barrier of entry, and card games have notoriously always had a high barrier to entry, and even though it's digital, and it should be easier to play, to understand, to learn, and to buy into, nope! They're making it more ridiculous than ever, and that's just a freaking tragedy. So, that's my rant on CCGs. I guess the genre is kind of waning down here. It's booming less and less because people are becoming a little bit more aware, especially with all these regulations on gambling, which is great. Please, governments, we need to protect ourselves from ourselves, right? Please and thank you. And game companies, if you're going to make a game, I don't know. I mean, I can only plead about this because everyone needs to make money. But think of the actual gameplay. Think of the art of what you're doing, what you're creating, the experience you're sharing, and make it long-lived. You know, for as many people as possible. That's all I can ask. All right? I know there has to be some concessions, but in the end, I'm not moving. I'm drawing a line. I'm not going to gamble. So I'm done with that. Thanks for watching, friends and family. My name is Skylint, and, you know, peel some eyeballs on the Patreon if you guys like, you know, really lazy rants and things like that. I don't know, talking about games, and just, you know, hanging out here, peer-to-peer, friends and family. That's what we do. We just hang out, we play games, and we shoot the shit. So yeah, your turn in the comments below. Get them posts into the fray. Let's have some fun. I'll meet you down there. Keep the hype alive, and I'll see you again next time.